Unicorn Overlord is the newest game from Vanillaware, a company known for its fantastic 2D artwork. The company established its cult popularity with titles like Odin Sphere and 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and Unicorn Overlord is set to put a tactical RPG spin on their usual fare, following the displaced Prince Elaine as he builds an army to reclaim his throne. Unicorn Overlord's gameplay is similar to games like Ogre Battle, in which armies are made up of units formed with groups of characters all with different classes and abilities. A good formation and tactical setup can make all the difference between resounding victory and total defeat. And with that said, welcome to Game Rant everyone, I'm Bilal, and here are 5 tips for creating the best formations in Unicorn Overlord. For our first tip, balance unit count and unit size. At the beginning of the game, the player's army is very limited, with only 3 units of 2 characters each at Elaine's disposal. The player can use honors to either expand unit size to add more characters to a single unit, or add more units to use overall. The costs of doing both slowly increase over the course of the game as the army grows, and both have their benefits. Having more units allows the player to field more characters in battle, while expanding unit size increases the power of the unit itself. While it may be enticing to field a few powerful units or swarm the field with a multitude of 2-man units, it is much better to balance the number of units Elaine has with their size. Next up, have units specialize against certain foes. It is fairly difficult to account for the variety of units Elaine will encounter in his fight against Zenoira. There are a multitude of different types of units, each with their particular strengths and weaknesses. Attempting to account for all of them within a single unit would not only be difficult, but would be more likely to make the unit fairly ineffective offensively as well. Instead, it would be better to build units with the aim of tackling 1 or 2 unit types in mind. Many units have at least one attack that is effective against another unit type, as well as many classes that are specifically effective against other units, such as Radiant Knights being effective against sorcerers and witches. Teaming up with characters with the same effectiveness can make them especially effective in combat, since enemy units often bundle characters of the same class together. And on a similar note, maintain diversity in units. While it's important to not spread out a particular unit's strengths, it is also important to avoid making a unit too uniform. It can be tempting to make an all-cavalry team or an all-flying team to soar the skies, but such teams would be incredibly vulnerable to attacks effective against them, leading to easy wipeouts depending on what kinds of enemies are present on the map. Instead, it's better to try to make a unit build out of a variety of characters, each serving different roles. Having a balance between attackers, defenders, and supporters is what makes a strong unit, and sometimes characters with 2 very different classes can pair very well together. There are a lot of unique interactions between various classes and their abilities, and experimenting with different lineups is the best way to understand them. Next up, keep Valor Skills in mind. Every class has a unique Valor skill tied to it. Valor skills can heal, revive allies, damage enemies, slow enemies down, speed your allies up, and much more. Valor skills are a vital mechanic and can genuinely mean the difference between victory or defeat. Naturally, the Valor skills a unit can use depends on the characters it is composed of. Due to the variety and versatility of different Valor skills, it might be worth to include a character just for their Valor skill alone. Pay attention to Valor skills when deciding which characters to build units out of. And lastly, pick a leader carefully. The most important part of a unit is its leader. They decide how much stamina a particular unit has, as well as its base mobility. Units with cavalry leaders can move much faster than units with infantry leaders, even if the infantry-led unit contains cavalry with it. Units with flying leaders are able to fly over mountains and rivers at the cost of having less stamina. When a character is chosen as a leader, they can provide leader effects that affect either their own units or the flow of battle in general. Some effects, such as those of wizards and clerics, can allow them to assist units in battle, while others can provide a variety of beneficial effects. These leader effects range from being fairly helpful to incredibly vital, so make sure to pay close attention when picking a leader for each unit. And those are 5 tips for creating the best formations in Unicorn Overlord. We'll see you next time.